no problem. But when I had to read, things were a little bit different. My hair would go cling like that, and my teeth would start to chatter, and I'd start to shake a little bit, and I'd start to sweat a little bit because I couldn't keep up with everybody else. I just couldn't keep up. Okay, that's a lot of sweat going on there, actually. Pretty soon the whole classroom would fill up with sweat, and everybody. My ADHD, I had a problem. Paying attention and behaving myself in the classroom. So my teacher would send me out into the hallway a lot. And sometimes I would come home from school and I would feel very, very sad. It just seemed like I was the only kid in my whole class who had all these challenges. And I'd be a little depressed and I'd figure, why me? Why am I always the one who's got these challenges? But fortunately, I have a very positive mom. My mom has the best attitude, and she always believes that everything happens for a reason, and if you have a good attitude, you can figure it out. So my mom taught me something very, very important, and it's all about positivity. And we're going to talk about some of the things that I learned as a kid. First, they all start with the letter P, so they're pretty easy to remember, but the first one is positivity, and that basically means just having a good attitude, even when things are not going your way. And I noticed that my mom was so very, very positive all the time that it started to rub off of me. So whenever I would have a bad day, I started asking myself a very important question. And that is, how can I turn this into something good? How can I take this bad thing in my life and turn it into a good thing? And actually, the more I asked that question, the more I started to get answers. I remember I was sitting out in the hall all the time, and I thought, hey, I know what I can do. This is good. I can use that time out in the hallway to draw pictures. And that's what I started doing. I started drawing pictures of different characters, and before I knew it, I was making up my own stories. And this is one of the very first comics that I made when I was a kid. It's about a character you may have heard of. His name is Dog Man. And this comic is actually more than 50 years old. And when I was a kid, Dogman is a little bit different than the characters you may have read about. When I was a kid, Dogman was basically just a regular dog who used to just kind of hang out and be a regular dog. One day, something pretty amazing happened. There was a terrible storm, and lightning flashed down from the sky, and it resulted in one of the greatest special effects that has ever been seen in a comic book of all time. Are you ready for this? Hang on to your seats, everybody, because this is going to be amazing. Ready? Okay, here we go. Thank you so much. So the lightning flashed out from the sky, and it hit Dogman. And I don't know if you know this, but anytime a dog gets struck by lightning, they automatically gain superpowers. And that's what happened to Dogman. So he grew a cape somehow, he could fly in the air, and birds could talk for some reason. I don't know why. But you know, if anybody was ever having a hard time, if anybody was ever in trouble, Dogman would help them out. Like in this case, the airplane's falling from the sky, so he took his leash and he swung it around like a lasso, and let's see if I can. Oh yeah, he grabbed the airplane right by the nose and he let it down to the flew it down safely to the ground. And Dogman was a wonderful superhero. He saved the day, great superhero, just like my mom. Great superhero like my mom, who taught me all about being positive, even when things aren't going your way. Now, my mom actually taught me about a few other things. The second thing she taught me about, I think, is something probably all of you know about because you're all writers. But you might even know the answer to this because my mom was a musician, and just use your imagination and pretend if you were my mom, and when she was a little girl, she wanted to be a great musician. She wanted to be really a wonderful piano player, a wonderful organist. So what would you have to do every single day if you wanted to be a great musician? That's right. You have to practice. And that's the second thing we're going to talk about. Now, my mom was a musician, but she knew I loved to draw. That was my thing. And so my mom and dad, they encouraged me to practice every single day. And that's what I did. I practiced my drawing every day. And the more I practiced, one thing I noticed is that my drawing started to get better and better. And not only did my drawings get better, but actually my spelling started to improve, and my ideas started to improve, and my character started to improve, all because of practice. And I don't just practice my drawing. I actually practice making toys. And this is something that I just started doing recently. But it's based on something I used to do when I was a kid. I love taking little broken toys, little pieces of cardboard and tape, and gluing them together and creating new things. And these are some scenes from my very messy studio in Japan. But when I'm there, I do the same thing I used to do as a kid. I take all kinds of broken stuff and tape and cardboard, and I make new toys and new characters and new vehicles. And once I've done that, I can actually use those to write stories about. Have any of you read the Cat Kid comic book books? So you might notice some of these setups. Like you see that smoke coming out of that building there? That's from an old pillow that somebody was throwing away. And so I cut it over and I took the fluffy stuff out and I glued it to some cardboard. And actually everything you see here is either a broken toy or a piece of stuff that nobody else wanted. But the thing is that you can all do this too. It's really easy, it's really fun. All it takes is a little bit of imagination and a whole lot of practice to create your own stories out of just throwaway stuff. Now, my mom not only taught me to be positive and this, but she also